I do believe in the importance of higher education if, of course, you do it right and with a specific goal in mind. Hi guys, Fabio Palvelli here. I'm a designer, and on this channel I like to talk about the business side of design, I like to talk about communication, and I like to share my tips and tricks on how to lead a more fulfilling professional creative career. On this channel I try to post videos every week, so if this is your first time here, do consider subscribing. So a young student contacted me a few weeks ago asking me about whether or not he should drop out of college and pursue a career as a visualization artist. He's 19, he's studying architecture. He asked me whether I think a degree is worth anything or not. Now, before we continue, I need to make it clear that I am in no way able to tell you or anyone else if you should drop out of college or not. Neither are your friends, your colleagues, your parents. Although, if your parents are paying for your education, then you have some obligations towards them and you should be treading lightly. Still, the choice if you decide to drop out or continue studying should be completely up to you. Personally, I have a degree in architecture and a master in building science with a major in digital design. Yet, looking back, the only courses that really added practical value to my career were only two. One in rendering and visualization. It was a course that lasted a couple of semesters, 14 classes altogether, and the second course, which was on innovation and creativity. This course only lasted 3 classes. Also, the few courses on engineering and mathematics were very useful because they pushed me in a way to have to use my brain and think logically about everything. All the rest was arguably just me having to listen to a bunch of teachers telling me things that were really not negotiable, non-debatable, things like theory of architecture, urban planning, design theory. And the thing is that each one of these professors had a different take, different perspectives on all of these overlapping topics. So most stuff I was learning were just clashing opinions and debates. To this day, I feel like they brought nothing to my persona other than to think that each designer is an egomaniac totalitarian that wants to leave its mark on this planet exclusively for personal gain and at all costs. Anyway, I'm sidetracking. What university did for me was giving me the chance to make me focus on studying and learning new things. It forced me to dedicate the time that I needed to study the things that I wanted to learn, and it also gave me validation. In a way, I always felt that a degree was something important to have, and I know it made my parents feel really proud, although to be honest, I can't really say that I felt the pressure from their side, but it was my decision to do it, and it was also my decision to wait 5 years before starting with these studies. I got it out of my system, and now I don't really look back. So if I remove this whole emotional part from the equation, I personally think that a university course in design is not as valuable as we are made to believe. And now you might think, yeah, it's easy for you to say, you do have a degree. Fair enough. Look, I'm not talking about all university courses. In fact, there are some cases in which you do need a degree. You want to be a lawyer or a doctor. In this case, there are some legal steps that you need to take before becoming one, so a degree there is necessary. In my case, what I ended up doing for a living, I did not study at university. And in retrospective, it could have been learned without university. Still, I'm very thankful for the time that I spent pursuing my degree. Yeah, I do realize this is very confusing, but then again, that's why no one can tell you what you should be doing. You should listen to yourself and you should make decisions based on how you feel inside. I think probably one of the things that you should be doing is some soul searching. Are you dropping out of university because you have reason to drop out? Do you think that by dropping out you can do something better? Or are you just dropping out because you don't believe in yourself or because you're not working hard enough? Are you dropping out because you're lazy? And I think at the end of the day, what you need is to be honest with yourself. Now, if you started studying architecture and all of a sudden you realize that this is not what you want to do, and maybe you do want to focus on 3D arts and visualization, then yes, you can consider dropping out, and you should probably consider dropping out. But, and this is where the fun usually stops, if you do drop out, you have to do it with a cause and an objective. The moment you decide to quit your studies and enter the workforce, it's go time. In the professional world, the competition is really hard, and unfortunately there are no shortcuts. Outside of university, that's real life, and in real life, quitting isn't really allowed. There are no excuses, and you should be mentally prepared for this. So you might be saying, okay Fabio, I still think that it's a good idea to have a college degree. And you're right, I totally agree. But a higher education used to be considered a parachute, something soft on which you could fall onto in case your plans and your dreams didn't work out. Now, it's a bit sad to say this, but that doesn't exist anymore. A college degree is no longer a warranty that you might find a job after graduation. This is something you should be aware of. Employers want skills, they want abilities, they want leaders, they want people that get shit done. They don't want a piece of paper that says diploma. That's useless. Google and Amazon, for instance, when they look for developers, they don't even ask for a degree. So if job security is the only reason why you might be pursuing your degree, then I'm afraid you're betting on the wrong horse. If you want to do it, you should be studying with a precise objective in mind. Your efforts should be catalyzed towards a specific goal. Now at this point you might as well drop out and wait to have a more clear idea of how you envision your life in the future, because you can always study later. I started to study architecture at the age of 25. I took a 5 years gap between high school and university, and I still did not end up doing what I studied for. Believe me, you're 19, you still have time to make mistakes. Can a college dropout become a great designer? I know extremely well-respected designers that made it without a master's degree or a college degree because their ability and their talent, their drive, their work, attitude and ethics made them achieve everything that they wanted to, regardless. But, and this is very important to take in account, their story and the way these guys made it happen for themselves will likely not apply to you. So if you just want to follow their path, know that the results could be a lot different from what you expect. I'm not trying to demotivate you, I'm just trying to make you aware of the fact that you must always be yourself and not just imitate others. Learn from others, but don't imitate them. Take what you learn from others and use it to lead the way. Try to always be yourself, because being yourself, especially in the field of design, well, that's always a great strategy. My name is Fabio Palvelli. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.